side of me running the gun and hopefully making some hits. I'll let the barrel cool down a little bit. I got a target out there, it's still 375 yards, and it is actually an acetylene tank that the bottom's been cut out of, hanging from a chain. I refer to it as the bell target. If I hit it, you'll definitely be able to hear it. I'll try to run the bolt quickly as to let you guys see how the gun performs as far as the smoothness of the bolt and the action. Hit. Get my hand out of the way. Had to wait for the hit. I can't hear it. That's 10. I actually wasn't really listening to see how many of those actually hit, but mainly just focusing on trying to work the bolt for you as fast as I could to let you see you know, how good this action really is. Even with the Cerakote on the bolt, which I know is going to, you know, cause a little drag, and it has absolutely, you know, I'll even prove it to you, has absolutely no oil on it whatsoever. And there's a clean finger, my middle one. Watch. Nothing. Dry as a bone, and yet it still runs smooth. Of course, put a little oil on it would help, and I will after I finish shooting here today. I'll probably oil this gun. Everything on it's stainless. Action, barrel, bolt, everything stainless steel. The paint's on there mainly just for looks, really. It's not going to help protect it because it should be okay with the stainless steel. But you know, a little oil here and there does help things to run smoother. There may be a little bit. Let me see. Nope, there's none in there either. None on the head. But as you can see, not necessary. When the tolerances are right, everything's been put together correctly. It just works. You know, it just works the way it should, the way you'd hope that a good, high-quality gun would work. Let's see. That torso needs a little bit more attention, I think. It's still got some paint on it. Yeah, baby. Now things moving so much I can't hit it. I have to go back to the body. Wow, that thing is rocking. Oh, it's a lot of fun. That's so much fun it shouldn't even be legal. But praise God it still is. But do your part to keep it that way, because if the government has anything to do with it, they would probably make it illegal. Alright, here's where I've been shooting from, and down there just a little ways, 375 yards is our target and berm. So let's go check out those targets. bring you down here, show you the impacts that we made and the group size, give you an idea of the accuracy of this rifle. And of course, you remember this was rapid fire, but I mean, you can see, let me put something up there to give you an idea. There's my finger. I do have big fingers. However, I would guesstimate that's about those 4 shots right. Let's see, that's an old shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 1.5 inch group. I do have one flyer off to the side here. And then back over here, of course I wasn't really shooting for accuracy, but more or less running that bolt quickly. Once I go back, I'll do a little bit slower shots and hopefully allow you to see a little bit more of the accuracy of this gun. But anyway, let me get these targets repainted and freshened up so we'll be able to see the new hits. This is AR 500 steel. This is the acetylene tank I was showing you. It's I believe it's about 10 inches wide, and I don't know, it's probably 4 foot tall or so. But this is mild steel. Can you see that? This is 375 yards. It drilled it. Drilled a hole right through the thing like it wasn't nothing. And it isn't a very thin piece of metal. This is probably 3/8, close to a 1/2 inch thick steel. And even at that distance, that 260 Remington is just screaming fast, and knocked the hole. It's already shattered this plate. And I'd actually just turned these around this morning because, let me show you the back side, because they've gotten so shot up. As you can see, of course, they've been hit with an AR at close range and stuff too. This is actually the bottom of that acetylene tank. It's pretty thick also, didn't quite go through it. But mild steel, right there's a place, it didn't quite penetrate it, but it came really close. That's AR 500. There's mild down here. That's the one I couldn't see. That's right, it's blocked by that stick. Couldn't see it. This one's also AR 500. Doesn't put a divot in it or anything, not that I can tell. Now, it puts a good wallop on it, but there's no penetration at all. But mild steel, a whole different ball game. Now these are thicker. That's the reason they're not penetrated. This is probably 5/8, maybe even 3/4. I don't have a way of measuring it. Maybe even 3/4 thickness. There's a lot more mass there to have to penetrate. Looked like there it penetrated, but that's because it was in the same area as several other hits. It was already weakened. So anyway, we'll get you guys back on the tripod and paint these targets up, and then I'll go back and take a few shots and leave you guys down here to see the impacts. Okay, got the targets painted, freshened up, and I positioned the camera. It's 25-30 yards away from the targets, and I'll try to get it. I don't know if you can see on that bell target, this acetylene tank target, there's actually a small red dot. I don't know if I'll be able to see it from back there or not, but if so, I can. If I see it, I'll attempt to aim at that. Otherwise, if I can't see it, I'll take a shot wherever that impact is. I'll aim there for the rest of the shots to hopefully have a decent group and allow you to see it. All right, so let me get back there, get set up. I'll walk you up here and give you a little closer shot. Now, as I mentioned before, on this torso, it didn't have a red dot or anything to aim at. So I'll explain to you what I did a while ago in a minute on that. But on this one, I did have that red dot. Elevation's a little off. And it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know where the other one is, if there was another one. I didn't really count my shots, I don't really remember. But some of that was me actually, and some of it also, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but once it was hit the first time, it started swinging. And when it's swinging like that, it's hard to get an accurate shot on it. Now, the same is true with this one. The first shot, I believe, was this impact right here. And then the second shot, I went ahead and bolted the round for the second shot, and then realized when I got back on scope that this target was doing this number. And from where I was at, that was going to make it real difficult to make an accurate shot on it. So I waited, and in doing so, I allowed that second round to cook in the chamber, heat up, and because I'd already fired 6 shots, and the chamber had already gotten warmed up by then. So that second shot was warmed up, and that impact was over here. It doesn't surprise me at all, because when you heat that round up in the chamber, of course your velocity is going to change a little bit, and everything is going to be a little different. Plus we have about a 5-mile-an-hour wind today, and some of this deviation in windage could be due to that. Should be a whole lot though at this distance, almost, you know, close to 400 yards, 375, right at it. But to give you an idea, I think there's 5 shots, maybe 6 on this target, and all within, let's see, there's my hand up against it, all within a pretty decent sized group. I don't know if you could call that quarter MOA or not, because like I said there again, the gun is more capable than I am. But the gun's doing its part, it's just me really. But you know, I'm happy with the gun. It makes me a better shooter. It makes me look like a better shooter anyway. It's giving you a view from the target area back to where I was shooting from. Just over top of that blue barrel. My rifle's right behind the blue barrel. I'm shooting right over top of it. And we're 375 yards back here to the berm. And so anyway, to give you guys an idea, I look from here down to back to the final firing position. Hopefully the videos show the difference in the sound from the impact to the shot also.